Welcome to Hot Slice, a podcast brought to you by the team at Pizza Today. I am creative director Josh Count. Along with me, executive editor of Pizza Today, Miss Denise Greer. Hello, Denise.
Hello, Josh. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I can't believe we've been doing that intro for like 5 years now.
I
That's
mean, it's insane that we've been doing this podcast this long. It's great. And we also say, if you want to be on the podcast, email me, dgreer@pizzatoday.com, because we're always looking for new guests. I'll
yeah,
just open
and
it up with that.
that's what brought us our new guest today. But we'll get into that in a minute.
Okay.
First, let's talk about some Pizza Expo Columbus that's going to be coming up here in October.
Yeah, so our new show in Columbus. Actually, I think registration is going to open very, very soon. So if you got eyes on competing or getting in on those educational sessions and things like that, get in there and register early. As soon as you see it pop up, we'll be sharing it on Pizza Expo's socials, Pizza Today's socials. I'm sure you'll get emails for it, but it's definitely coming very, very soon.
Yeah, it's definitely something you should have on top of mind, especially if you're going to be competing, because I'm sure that's going to fill up pretty fast. Because there's a lot of people in the Midwest that don't get to Pizza Expo, International Pizza Expo in Las Vegas, and
hmm
they would love to compete. So I'm sure they're going to take full advantage of Pizza Expo and being in Columbus in October and jumping all over that.
I wish I could compete because I have been playing and testing doughs. I'm going to tell you what, over the weekend, actually starting the first part of, or the end of last week, I started making dough. So I made dough Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to cook on Sunday. So I did varying
Wow.
degrees
You had
of
a
cold
damn near pop-up.
fermentation. Yeah, I did an 18-hour dough. I even tested, um, overnighting store-bought dough. So it was just like from my local
Oh,
Kroger or something,
yeah.
and giving it another, so they're giving it another fold and then trying that dough out. And so I fired them all up in one day. So I had 24 dough balls.
Oh my God.
24 dough balls, one outdoor oven that only cooks one pizza at a time.
I hope you had some friends over.
So I invited, and like I don't know, I had like, I don't know, 12 friends show up. So if I start a mobile pizza business, you're gonna find out why, because like people just get addicted to my pizza maybe. I don't know, no. But there was definitely some lessons learned on, because
Yeah.
I tried to adapt things and just like people do in their test kitchens. I was just playing around with different fermentations, different bench rest time, different ingredients. I tried a traditional, like straight up traditional Neapolitan dough that does not use EVOO, so no olive oil. And the leoparding on those pizzas was beautiful, like
Um,
beautiful.
I
So,
haven't
and
seen photos of this. You did take photos,
I
right?
know. Well, I had some phone issues, so I didn't post a lot of them, but I will. I will eventually. But yeah, so they all looked, the bakes were all so different on them. And this oven, I could not get the heat down. Like I was trying to turn it down because I wanted it to be at like 750. I couldn't get the thing below 800. I mean, it was just firing. So also I had to like really, like I had to work that oven.
Had to
So
focus,
yes.
100% focus on that. And I was
So
like, you have 12 friends there. I can't socialize. I have to watch this pizza every second.
yeah, well, luckily I had one other friend that was making a couple of the pizzas, but the rest of the time it was me. But I really had fun with it. I enjoyed it, but it also made me think, could I do this day in and day out? Just work an oven, especially a wood oven where you've got to play with it the entire time. Like you can't sit on it. Like I literally looked away from the oven for a moment to have a conversation, and all of a sudden the back of the pizza was on fire because I didn't turn it.
Like having
So
to watch a toddler all day is
exactly.
your relationship with an oven. Uh,
Exactly. It's kind of crazy. And when you're dealing with those outdoor ovens, and people here, they love meaty toppings. And I'm like, well, meaty toppings don't really do as well in those outdoor ovens because they want to catch fire because they just have so much fat content. They just like so
well,
so yeah.
so tell me, what come out the best? What did you like? If you had to open a pizzeria tomorrow, which one would you use?
So the funny thing is what I liked was not necessarily what my friends liked,
Mm.
but that's also, my friends are from the Midwest.
Right.
They like a certain type of pizza, and so they liked the one that was a little thicker. So they liked the 18-hour dough that had a little more yeast in it. They liked it because it had a little bit more of the texture that they wanted. The Neapolitan dough they weren't as keen on because I told him I was like it's just a little wetter of a dough, it's a little different crust. So what I liked versus what they liked, I actually liked. I made a variation on a Neapolitan. I made a Neapolitan dough that had olive oil
Yeah.
in it, and that was a 48-hour cold fermentation. And it probably bench rested that day for another 7 hours, 6 or 7 hours.
Did
Uh,
you have a 72 hour?
I did not because
Okay.
I could not get around to making the 72-hour dough. But I'm going to try that next. Actually, the next pizza party I want to do, I'm going to do all pan styles.
Okay.
So I'm going to do a Grandma Sicilian Detroit tavern, the little fun tavern
Denise,
pie.
we've talked to hundreds of pizza operators over the
No.
last few years, and all their stories, most of their stories start out the same way. Especially if they didn't grow up in the business. This is how their story starts out. This
I
is it.
know, right?
I see it happening.
Yeah,
So,
it's fine. It's
matter
fine.
of time, just a matter of time.
Yeah.
Or
But
Denise
our
is,
guest did not start his pizzeria out this way. Our
yeah.
guest actually has been in the business for 3 decades, working for a pizzeria, getting into general management, that kind of thing. And he just decided once that his kids were old enough to work the business, that he would open his own business after that one had closed. So we have with us Charles Canaankamp, and he is with Pronto Pizza Cafe there in Mansfield, Ohio.
Well, I must say, Pronto Pizza and Coffee.
And coffee, yes. Oh my gosh, I forgot the coffee
Can't
part. Now,
forget the coffee part.
you know how much we love coffee.
Right, their tagline is
So,
the best of both worlds, and let me tell you, that is could be more
yeah. You
coffee and
know,
pizza, best
and
world.
I was in the car the other day with a friend, and they were like, "Why don't more pizzerias have a breakfast?" And I was like, "Well, because it's the labor, it's the
Yeah,
expensive part. I mean, it's the running another day part. I mean, you have to, pay for employees to run another day part. But the breakfast option, able to do really good coffee. I mean, you just if you're already there and you can do it on a tight budget, it was amazing."
yeah, I agree. Yeah, I loved our chat with Charles. So here we go.
Performance Food Service is proud to deliver high-quality products, innovative technology, and custom operational solutions to restaurants of all sizes across the country. The flagship division of Performance Food Group, with deep roots in the restaurant industry, Performance Food Service has been the exclusive distributor of the Roma family of brands for more than 65 years. This signature relationship has allowed Performance Food Service to become a leader in the pizza and Italian segment of food service nationwide. Are you ready to elevate your bakeware game? Spokane, Washington-based Lloyd Pans is the trusted name for professionals and home chefs alike. For over 40 years, Lloyd Pans has been creating innovative food service, bakeware, and pizza pans and tools designed to deliver perfect results every time. Whether it's crispy golden pizza crusts or perfectly baked pastries, Lloyd Pans' durable, stick-resistant, and proprietary pan finishes are a game changer. Visit lloydpans.com to explore our full lineup and find your perfect pan today. Need shipping quotes or custom products? Email sales@lloydpans.com for personalized service.
We're
Hey,
live.
Charles. Thanks for coming on to the podcast today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So you reached out to me because you really wanted to share your story. So give us a little kind of brief intro into your pizzeria and kind of how you got there, because you have a unique story of how you
Yeah,
got
I
into
do.
the business.
So I started at 16 with a company called KD Pizza. I was the sub bun wrapper.
Uh-huh.
So I spent my whole day, my 4 or 5 hours, and I just wrapped sub buns.
Oh, wow.
They were a very high volume pizza and sub shop.
Hmm.
And then I ended up 30 some years later being the district manager. And then I got to help him retire. So we closed all of his stores one by one. And And about a year before he was finished closing up, I decided that I should have done it years ago, but
Yeah.
I stepped out on my own with my kids. So we opened up Pronto Pizza and Coffee in Mansfield, Ohio, um, and that's where where we started. So
Your
That's
slogan is the best of both worlds, and I agree 100%. There's nothing better than
absolutely.
and pizza. So yeah. So going into that decision, what were you thinking going into that decision, adding coffee to the pizzeria?
Well, the coffee was kind of a little bonus. We love coffee, all my kids and I. We don't like the big brand down the street. It's a little
yeah.
bitter to us.
Yeah.
Uh, but we crafted a good bean through a local distributor. We get coffee brought in 3 times a week.
Okay.
Um, so we have fresh beans 3 times a week. But somebody was here anyway in the morning to make dough. So we
Hmm.
just thought, why not sell coffee? So
Yeah.
that's where it started.
And having a breakfast day part is something that a lot of pizzerias don't really think of or consider. But if you do already have people there and making dough and doing the things, depending on how high maintenance that you make your breakfast program, you can actually get by with a pretty small staff doing breakfast. Tell me what your breakfast staff is compared to your maybe your lunch day part or your dinner day part.
We are 2 people in the morning. We have myself. I
Hmm.
come in right around 8 o'clock, 8:30. My daughter opens the shop at 8 o'clock. We used to open at 7, but between 7 and 8, we got one customer. So I
Yeah.
figured I could sleep an hour because I am here pretty much every day, 7 days a week, from 8, 9 in the morning until 10, 11 o'clock at night. So that little extra hour of sleep has been very beneficial for me.
Very
Uh,
much.
There you go.
yeah, there's two of us in the mornings, 3 to 4 at lunchtime, and then we have between 4 and 9 people, plus a couple of delivery drivers in the evening.
Oh, that works great. So I want to go back to you're talking about working for that pizzeria for what 34 years.
Yes,
So what kind of made you hesitate to go all in for yourself in that time? Like what were the things that kind of held you back to do your own shop then?
definitely money.
Yeah.
Money was the biggest factor. So I came pretty much fresh out of high school, and I had a car accident. So I injured my back severely, and I've had
Mhm.
13 back surgeries since.
Wow.
So it's been an on and off type thing.
Hmm.
And I just didn't really feel like I could handle it. Once my kids
Yeah.
were raised, then my kids have always worked. 2 of my kids always worked for me at the other pizzeria. But,
Hmm.
they've worked at Marco's, they've worked at CC's,
Hmm.
they've worked for KD, and now they're here with me.
Oh, that's
And that's
awesome.
that's what makes it special, though, is to have all my kids here and working with my children.
Are there any surprises? Like, you've worked in the business a long time, but you guys have been open a couple of years. Are there any surprises that you were like, oh wow, I didn't see that one coming? I didn't experience that at the old location.
Well, I went from a place that was been there 40 years.
Hmm.
They started just before I started with them.
Hmm.
But they spent 40 years there. But my biggest thing was I started out with used equipment, and I thought that was going to be brilliant and save me a lot of money. But as I opened the first year, I spent my whole year replacing everything because every week it seemed like something went down, whether it be a refrigerator or a freezer, an oven, and that's where the struggle has been as far as unexpected things.
Hmm.
And I guess I something I didn't expect is being in the pizzeria business for so many years. The turnover for employees is like astronomical. You
Yeah.
get somebody in for a day or two and they're gone. They get a paycheck, they're gone.
Yeah.
But we've managed. We've only lost 3 employees in 2 years. So
Hmm.
we've managed to keep all of our original employees. But we are a family business, and we do treat our employees like family. Um,
Hmm.
we go on little trips together, and we close just a few times a year. But it truly is a family business, including our employees, that we take care of them.
I'm curious about as you opened your own shop with your family, were there aspects of the pizzeria that you worked in that you're like, you know what, I'm going to bring those components with me, and were there other things that you were like, we're going to set a new chart and go down this path on our own this way, because that's how I feel like it's going to be more successful for me. Um,
Right. Yeah. So, after 30 some years of working for somebody else and doing things their way, and I
yeah,
was okay doing it their way,
yeah.
but I found that I have more efficient ways to do the same thing, and maybe a little more cost effective as well.
Yeah.
I don't, we get top of the line products. We don't really chintz on anything. You don't hear somebody talking about our pizza being super greasy, or, we have a pepperoni overload pizza that has basically triple pepperoni. And it's on top of that, it has old world pepperoni. It's
Hmm.
a kind of a greasy pizza, but it's not as greasy as a pizza that just has pepperoni from some of our competitors. So we do take pride on the ingredients that we put down. Um,
Hmm.
and that's where I think we're doing ourself a service.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of special pizzas, I saw on your website that you have a secret menu, and it takes a
I love
password
that.
to get into it. And I was just that I really like the password bit. It really made it feel like this is super special. So, how does one go about getting a password for the secret menu?
well, the secret menu was a thought that we had, and we were super excited about it, but then we found that really nobody went into it. So I really haven't given out the password. I really haven't changed anything on it in probably 6 months. Um,
Uh,
and I honestly, right now, I couldn't even tell you what the password is, because it has been a while. But all of those things that were on the secret menu are now on our regular menu.
okay.
So we just migrated things over. I still have it there because I do have a plan
Hmm.
to utilize that. But at this time, we're kind of not. I get the question maybe once a week, hey, what's the password to your secret menu? And I'm like, well, have to go and explain it all to them.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was kind of a cool thing for a minute, and you know, I just didn't have the response that I thought that I would get.
Yeah. Uh,
I think it's still really cool, and it's probably something you should pursue at some point. I wouldn't take it
yeah.
down.
Absolutely,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah, I wouldn't
You
either.
add maybe just throw in some clues here and there throughout the restaurant, so make it kind of fun for everybody.
right,
Yeah.
right,
Josh and
absolutely.
I are both like idea people, so it's a brilliant idea. It's just finding a unique way to move it forward, and I'm sure you'll be
Right.
able to move it forward because
And we
it
are,
is a fun idea. I love it.
yeah, it's we basically made it for our rewards
Hmm.
customers that sign up for our rewards program. Those are the people that truly have access to it.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, we're working with our rewards people on how to promote that, and to bring it in to where it's going to be beneficial for the customer and us.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about what's happening right now. What do you feel like the climate is like in the restaurant industry and in pizzerias, and kind of how are you adjusting and weighing how you're making decisions right now?
Well, I went into this knowing that there's a lot of competition out there.
Yeah.
You have to have a good product. Like I said, we don't chintz on anything. Most of the pizzerias, they use a standard oil, but we use 100% first squeeze olive oil in
Hmm.
our dough. And I think that makes the world of difference as far as our dough recipe goes.
Okay.
It gives it a unique flavor. We have a little bit of a hint of sweet in our sauce, not overpowering, but you can still get that little hint of sweet.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I kind of forgot the question, but
It's okay. It's kind of, how do you feel like, do you feel like business is up, business is down compared to
um,
last year? I know
well,
it's
definitely
hard
up.
when
We
you're
we
only two.
figure, yeah, we figure we're growing about 8% a month.
Oh,
which
wow.
doesn't
Nice.
sound like much to some people, but that's quite a bit.
Hmm.
Every week I see sales do something different. We have ups and downs like any place does.
Yeah.
Uh, we especially have ups and downs when the competitors put these big BOGO specials out. But I'm a little guy. I can't do
Yeah.
all those BOGO specials like they do. Um, we would love to, but I just feel like we have a superior product and we don't need to do a BOGO. You're going to get something very good quality,
Yeah.
and it's we give some discounts, but I don't. And our customers they agree.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
but yeah, that's where we're at with that.
Yeah,
Or
once you
Pete.
have quality pizza, you really never want
Yeah.
to go back to anything else. So,
You don't
Right,
need a
right.
discount. We say that at Pizza Day. It was like you've got too good of a product. You don't need a discount. Now there is a difference between LTOs and specials and do it running packages that doesn't allow you to discount your product because right now profit margins and things are so slim
They
that
are
it's
very,
it,
very
it's
slim.
it's hard to run a discounting program to keep up with the big chains. So yeah,
Exactly.
that would be rough. You had mentioned in your email to me that over the past year you've had a little bit of challenges. Can you tell us a little more about, kind of what you faced in this last year?
Well, it was when we had the building redone, we didn't skimp. We paid a lot of money to have every wire in this building uh taken out and all new in, and it we're not really sure what's going on.
Hmm.
We think we might have the problem fixed because nothing's really went down since, but over that last year, uh the cost of keeping up with the equipment, even though it ended up being new, there was an electrical issue that
Oh,
took out three freezers. I
oh
lost
no.
four refrigerators. I lost my pizza table twice, my sub table once. I lost an ice machine, and I also lost two ovens. Uh,
Whoa.
and all of that was over, I'm going to say over 150K. And
Jeez.
for
Does
a small,
insurance cover any of that? Or
well,
is it
it
just,
would if it happened all together,
yeah.
but this was every week it was something, and I didn't want to
Oh,
keep filing little claims and
yeah.
paying the $500 deductible. And after
Hmm.
the second claim, they'd probably cancel me anyway. So,
Yeah.
I just prefer
Hate
not to
it.
use the
Yeah.
insurance and I just pay it.
Yeah.
It's been a little tough because we had plans. We have a big patio idea going, and we have the outside of our building we'd love to get redone, which that is
Hmm.
in the works.
Yeah.
But I just didn't have the capital to do
Yeah.
those things because of what happened last year. Where right
Yeah.
now we're moving quite very fast this year. It's already June.
I
The
know.
year's half over, and everything's good so far. So
Oh, good.
this year's been pretty good. I did lose an oven. I actually last week we lost two ovens, but that was just a short little hiccup, a little part here and a little part there. Uh,
Okay.
but yeah, it's just the mechanical things. People don't think about that, but I can
Hmm.
tell you that I will never buy a used piece of equipment again. So if
You've learned your
anybody out there that
lesson.
wants to start a pizzeria, do not buy used equipment.
And
I I
th-
spent so much money at auctions, and
oh,
it took me an extra year to get open because of COVID, and I paid for storage locker for three storage lockers for that whole year, and
mhm.
heck, half of that equipment I could have bought new and
Yeah.
not had to worry about storage units.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's definitely don't ever buy used stuff.
That's good to
it,
hear that perspective because on Pizza Today, we always have that constant battle between people who say, buy used, buy new. And
Oh
it's
no,
fun.
I will never again.
unless you're going to take some trade school classes at night to learn how to fix ovens, so you can
Yeah.
just do it yourself. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's tough.
Kind of like buying an old car if you don't know how to work on it, right?
Exactly. I'm learning
So,
very fast how to work on these ovens, though.
Uh,
ah, I got you. So what is your focus now? Now you've got the hopefully the electrical issue and you can kind of move forward with maybe plans or how you're going to grow your business. What are you looking to be able to do in the next, 6 months, year with the business?
Definitely within the next 6 months, we want to get the outside of the building redone,
Hmm.
preferably before winter.
Yeah.
And then first next spring, we want to start working on our parking lot. Our parking lot is concrete.
Hmm.
It's broken up in a lot of places. It's been abused and not taken care of from the previous owners of the building.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to work on the parking lot next.
Yeah.
So
Does your Oh, sorry, Josh.
I was just
Oh,
gonna ask, was there a restaurant in your space before you guys got in there?
no, actually, it was a hair salon. It was here
oh
for
wow.
50 years. And then that gentleman retired and wanted to get out. So I found a good deal and
And took it.
here we are.
That's awesome. And I don't know if your community, because I do see this in quite a few communities, and actually my town does it here, where they'll do facade grants and they'll give you grant money to redo and beautify your front of your business. I don't know if you have that there, but they're really good
Yeah, I'm not
programs if
really
you can
sure.
find one. So,
It's a good thing to look into because I could really use that little bit of extra help. That'd be
yeah.
great.
That's
For
a
sure.
tip to everyone if you
Yeah,
look at your local programs because there sometimes are like they do beautifications, especially if you're in a downtown district or a neighborhood district. They
right.
oftentimes will have a beautification grant program.
Yeah, we're in a
That's pretty
township
good.
just outside the
Mhm.
city. We're like maybe not even a I don't even think maybe 200 or 2,000 feet from the
Yeah.
city. Maybe
Oh
two
wow.
roads down is the city, and then we're
Uh,
actually in the township. So I'm not sure if there's anything township wise
yeah.
they can help with,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Might check your with your county too.
yeah,
But okay.
No, so I know you're in Ohio between Columbus and Cleveland. Am I correct?
yeah,
So
yeah.
so
We're
yeah,
exactly 60 minutes either way.
Oh
okay,
wow.
that's really cool. The so are you guys going to be coming to the Pizza Expo that we're having in Columbus in October?
I do plan. I'm hoping to bring one of my kids, but somebody
Mhm.
has to be here. So
Yeah.
And this would be a great opportunity to compete as well. So I mean, I see some of your pizzas and they look really good. So
Yeah, they do.
yeah, they're a good pie. I have a complaint once in a while, but we believe that if the pizza doesn't have a little char on it,
Mhm.
it's not gonna taste good.
Yeah, I
100%.
Uh,
agree.
Char on a pizza is number one to me. So our pizzas are a little darker than some. So if you get it the first time, it's too dark for you, just ask for a little bit lighter bake. We'll be happy to do that for you. But we really maybe four people in 2 years, 2.5 years.
Not bad.
Yeah.
So not bad.
Oh, that's fun. Now, Ohio, it's just there are so many pizzerias in Ohio. I feel like
There are.
Ohio is just such a hub for pizza and different styles of pizza, but definitely a love for Midwestern and traditional American pizza that just it seems like Ohio is just ripe with that.
Very right. I would say in a 6 mile radius, there's probably 12 pizzerias.
Hmm.
Wow.
So, I mean, there's quite a few.
Yeah.
It's been a not really a challenge to overcome that. So I did my pricing like midway between the low end to the higher end pizzerias.
Hmm.
So I tried to be comparable with all of those guys. But again, I really feel like we do have a superior product. So I'm not gonna, I just don't just they have to come taste it for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it really is
Keep
good.
doing your own thing and you'll
Yeah,
find out,
I
just be
love it.
consistent.
That's cool.
absolutely.
So the one other question I had for you was between you and your kids, what is the roles like with the families in the pizzerias?
Well, I have uh, four kids.
Okay.
My youngest daughter is actually the GM.
Okay.
Then I have a weekend manager that she just works the weekends because I have my youngest, which is my GM, also is a school teacher.
Hmm.
She's a substitute for our local school system here from Madison. So she does that in the morning and then comes here in the evenings. She puts 40 in both places.
Wow.
Um, and then my next daughter, she's the morning manager. She takes care
Nice.
of all the coffee, making all the dough, which she just moved into that role. So I
Hmm.
don't have to do everything because I found that I didn't get to spend much time in my office to take care of the day-to-day things.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, my other daughter is the weekend manager. And then my son, he just kind of does his own thing and just comes in whenever he doesn't really work much anymore, but he just comes in whenever we need him. And but he's wanting to follow his dream with healthcare. So I don't
Yeah.
want to ever hold one of my kids back. And I want them to make that decision for themselves. This was my dream. I just brought a few of you along with me. So, eventually I'm hoping within a few years I'll be able to turn this over to them and dad won't have to work so hard.
Yeah.
So, but we'll get there.
That's we wish you the best of luck, and we thank you so much for popping on to the podcast and telling you sharing your story. Is there anything else that we've kind of missed that we didn't get to talk about that you wanted to share with the Pizza Today audience?
Come get a pie.
Huh? Come get a pie. I like
Come get a pie.
it.
Right.
I'm up in that region of Ohio all the time because y'all have good bike touring and bike
Uh,
packing area. So I
nice.
always hit pizzerias when I'm on my bicycle.
Well, we have a bike trail here in Mansfield. It's like
Yep.
maybe 18, 19 miles.
Yep.
I just took it the first time in probably 30 years, a couple of days ago.
Oh, nice.
And it was a great little trip down to Butler, Ohio. We stopped at a little Dairy Queen right at the end. We had
Ooh,
dinner down there and had some ice cream and drove back.
that's a
See?
good treat. That's a good
Oh
midway
yeah,
treat right there.
it is.
Yeah, love it. I love it. Well, we wish you the best, and we can't wait to meet you in person in Columbus. So I hope you're able to make it, and
We'll be there
we'll see you we'll see you in probably I don't know how many months.
just a
See you in
few
October.
months.
I know.
I
All
don't
right.
know anymore.
In
So,
October. How about
yeah,
that?
exactly. Well,
Yep.
thanks so much, Charles, for coming on to
Hey,
the
thank you.
podcast, and we wish you the best as you grow the business.
Thank you so much.
All
Thanks,
right.
John.
Take
See
care.
you. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.